But sometimes they just don't understand that when they tweet something, when they post something on X, on Instagram, on any form of social media, they are running the risk of putting millions upon millions of dollars of projects, in danger because of their choices to say things that get them in trouble. In this case, we're talking about actress Ariana DeBose.
She's now bragging about the success of Snow White, which is a movie that's going to lose hundreds of millions of dollars. And mainly because of her, and because nobody wanted to support her.
Hollywood is reeling from a move no one saw coming. One minute she was Disney's golden girl, the next, vanished. We're talking about Rachel Zegler. In an industry where careers are built on pixie dust and dreams, the unthinkable has happened. Disney has seemingly cut ties with the rising star, but the real shocker? Whispers are swirling that this wasn't just a cold corporate decision. Insiders are hinting at a behind-the-scenes drama, a confrontation, and a name you wouldn't expect to be in the middle of it all, Ariana DeBose. Did the Oscar winner play a role in Zegler's sudden fall from grace? Buckle up, because this story is about to get explosive.
Can your talent outrun your mouth when you say things that get you in trouble? So what happened was Ariana DeBose reposted something on Instagram about the idea of narcissism.
When the news first broke, it wasn't just a ripple, it was a seismic tremor in the entertainment landscape. Reports began to surface, not with a bang, but with a subtle yet unmistakable shift in the industry's narrative around Rachel Zegler and Disney. Consider the trajectory. Zegler, catapulted to stardom by Steven Spielberg in West Side Story, seemingly handpicked to embody a new generation of Disney magic. She was on the cusp of major franchises, poised to become a household name, a Disney darling. Then, almost overnight, the buzz faded, projects seemed to quietly evaporate, and future collaborations were conspicuously absent from the conversation. No grand announcement, no dramatic press release, just a chilling silence emanating from the House of Mouse. The initial reaction was widespread disbelief, quickly morphing into a frenzy of speculation across every corner of the internet and industry circles. From hushed conversations in studio backlots to frantic online forums, the question reverberated: what could possibly trigger a studio as meticulously image-conscious as Disney to seemingly distance themselves from such a promising talent? The suddenness and opacity of the situation screamed that something significant and likely controversial had transpired.
Let's look at what she posted first of all. This was the Instagram post here. I can pull this up. It says, narcissism is not something to be coddled or encouraged. Well, I personally think that is actually really, really good advice.
In the shadowy corners of Hollywood, where whispers often carry more weight than official pronouncements, the rumor mill began to churn with relentless force. And the tales being spun about Rachel Zegler were far from flattering. Murmurs of alleged unprofessional behavior began to circulate, painting a picture of discord and friction. Now, it's crucial to underscore that these are, at this stage, still unsubstantiated allegations circulating through the grapevine without concrete evidence. Yet the stories, however vague, conjured images of on-set tensions, perhaps clashes of personality with directors or producers, or even accounts of public incidents that raised concerns about her conduct. Think whispers of tardiness, of demanding attitudes, of perhaps a perceived lack of grace under pressure, the kinds of backstage dramas that can quickly tarnish a rising star's reputation. These whispers, though lacking in verifiable detail, began to coalesce into a narrative that perhaps Zegler's public persona didn't entirely align with her behavior behind the scenes. The online world, ever eager for scandal, seized upon these rumors, amplifying them with each repost and speculative commentary, even in the absence of a single credible source confirming their veracity.
She destroyed hundreds of millions of dollars worth of IP for Disney, but she also has destroyed her career and the careers of anybody who worked on the movie.
Just when the narrative seemed to be settling into familiar Hollywood gossip territory, a truly unexpected element was introduced: the name Ariana DeBose. The Oscar-winning actress, celebrated for her dynamism, her artistry, and a widely perceived image of unwavering professionalism, suddenly became entangled in the Zegler saga. The emerging rumor, gaining traction with astonishing speed, posited that DeBose was not merely aware of Zegler's situation, but actively involved, even instrumental in the events leading to Disney's apparent cold shoulder. The most sensational version of this rumor? that DeBose in some capacity shut down Rachel Zegler, directly influencing Disney's drastic course of action. But what could shut down possibly entail in this context? Did DeBose, perhaps acting as a mentor figure or concerned colleague, have a serious, potentially critical conversation with Zegler about the circulating allegations of unprofessionalism? Was it a private intervention that inadvertently escalated? Or was it something more direct, perhaps a communication of concerns to Disney executives themselves? The ambiguity surrounding DeBose's alleged involvement is thick, shrouded in conjecture and hearsay. Yet the very suggestion that someone of DeBose's stature and respected standing might have played a role in Zegler's predicament injects a layer of complexity and intrigue that dramatically shifts the entire narrative.
The producers, far left-wing activists in Hollywood, are turning on her, and Disney has canceled all of Rachel Zegler's appearances on their media platforms. Kind of tough.
Adding another layer of perplexing drama is the unwavering silence emanating from the usually PR-savvy halls of Disney. In the face of escalating speculation, fervent online chatter, and mounting media inquiries, the entertainment behemoth has maintained an almost impenetrable wall of silence. No official statements to clarify the situation, no carefully crafted denials of the rumors, no soothing PR releases to quell the storm, just absolute resounding silence. This corporate stonewalling is far from the norm, especially in a world where studios typically rush to control narratives and manage public perception. Why this uncharacteristic reticence? Are there legal constraints preventing them from speaking openly about personnel matters? Are they engaged in an internal investigation that necessitates absolute secrecy? Or is this silence a strategic maneuver in itself designed to protect Disney's brand, or perhaps even to shield Zegler from further scrutiny? In an industry fueled by image and reputation, such a deliberate and prolonged lack of communication is almost unprecedented in a situation of this magnitude. It strongly implies that the underlying reasons for Disney's actions are deeply sensitive, potentially legally fraught, and certainly far more intricate than any surface-level explanation could convey.
Disney responded by scaling back the premiere. I don't know that anyone really showed up to the premiere. The Rotten Tomatoes reviews are looking pretty bad, and they did, it seems like they tried to tweak a few things, but this movie is bad.
While Disney remains locked in corporate silence, the public gaze intensifies on Rachel Zegler herself, scrutinizing her every move and even her deliberate stillness. Her public response, or more accurately, her carefully calibrated lack of overt response, is being dissected with forensic intensity. Is she subtly hinting at the turmoil through veiled messages on social media, dropping cryptic clues about the behind-the-scenes drama? Is she maintaining an uncharacteristic digital quiet, perhaps under strict counsel from her representatives or even at Disney's behest? Or is she attempting to project an air of normalcy, defiantly carrying on with her public life as if oblivious to the swirling controversy, signaling resilience in the face of adversity? Every Instagram like, every reticent tweet, every notable absence of a public statement is being analyzed, interpreted, and overanalyzed for hidden meanings and potential revelations. In our hyper-connected digital age, silence itself becomes a form of communication, and Zegler's curated online presence or calculated digital withdrawal has transformed into another piece of the puzzle, inviting a global audience to become amateur detectives poring over her digital footprints for any flicker of insight into the unfolding drama.
I was looking at the chat, and some of you guys were like, we need a few less Snow White-like movies. I couldn't agree with you more. Like, all this woke stuff has to end.
The reverberations of this alleged Disney schism and the swirling DeBose rumors are rippling outward, sending shockwaves through the entire Hollywood ecosystem. For Rachel Zegler, this juncture could represent a profound career crossroads. Is this merely a temporary setback, a fleeting turbulence in the flight path to superstardom? Or could this unforeseen crisis mark a decisive turning point, potentially jeopardizing a career that was only just beginning to soar? The industry is holding its breath, watching with bated anticipation. Casting directors are re-evaluating their lists, studios are reassessing risk profiles, and producers are undoubtedly factoring the situation into their future talent considerations. Beyond Zegler's individual trajectory, Disney's handling of this situation also raises broader industry questions. What protocols are in place for managing talent disputes behind closed doors? Does this apparent severing of ties establish a new precedent for how studios will address allegations of unprofessional behavior, potentially ushering in a more unforgiving era for rising stars? The consequences of this drama extend far beyond the immediate individuals involved, potentially reshaping career trajectories, influencing studio strategies, and prompting a wider industry reckoning with issues of conduct, reputation, and the precarious nature of fame.
And you know what? There's a reason for it to end right now, and it's in part because this stupid movie, Snow White, just totally bombed at the box office. They spent $270 million on this thing. They're not going to make their money back.
Predictably, the internet has erupted into a digital coliseum where public opinion clashes and fan loyalties are fiercely contested. The online realm is starkly divided. Team Zegler has mobilized, vehemently defending her against the tide of rumors, questioning the legitimacy of the allegations, and decrying Disney's seemingly disproportionate response. They champion her undeniable talent, underscore her immense potential, and passionately argue against condemning her based on unsubstantiated gossip and innuendo. Conversely, a vocal segment of online commentators are quick to embrace the negative rumors, citing a pervasive culture of celebrity entitlement and perhaps drawing upon pre-existing biases or online narratives. The comment sections of news articles, the sprawling threads on social media platforms, and the bustling forums dedicated to entertainment news are overflowing with impassioned opinions, elaborate conspiracy theories, and increasingly insistent demands for transparency and definitive answers. This digital frenzy, this intense and polarized engagement, underscores the profound public investment in celebrity narratives and the insatiable appetite for behind-the-scenes drama. People are not merely passively observing, they are actively participating, forming allegiances and demanding to know the truth, transforming this Hollywood drama into a sprawling, interactive, and intensely scrutinized global spectacle.
And now the producer's son is coming out and blaming the whole thing on Rachel Zegler. He's not wrong. I mean, Rachel Zegler tanked this. There's a lot of other reasons they tanked it.
While Disney maintains its fortress of silence and Zegler navigates the storm with a carefully measured public presence, a different kind of communication has begun to seep out from the inner circles of Hollywood. Industry insiders, those typically bound by confidentiality and professional discretion, are starting to cautiously break ranks, albeit under the cloak of anonymity. Sources close to the production, individuals familiar with the situation, these are the vague but tantalizing labels attached to snippets of information now circulating in hushed tones through industry trades and private conversations. These whispers, always off the record and often unverifiable, paint a picture that is even more nuanced and potentially volatile than the initial rumors suggested. Some insiders hint at a clash of creative visions, suggesting that Zegler's artistic choices may have diverged from Disney's carefully crafted brand expectations. Others allude to personality clashes, not necessarily with DeBose, but with other key figures on projects, suggesting a friction that accumulated over time. Still others speculate about external pressures, perhaps relating to social media controversies or evolving public image concerns that Disney deemed too risky to manage. These insider accounts, even in their fragmented and often contradictory nature, serve to deepen the mystery, suggesting that the official narrative, or lack thereof, is deliberately obscuring a much more complex and multifaceted reality unfolding behind the scenes. They offer glimpses into the shadows, hinting at a power struggle, a clash of egos, or a strategic corporate calculation that has yet to be fully revealed.
I mean, journalists weren't even invited to show up at the red carpet for the premiere because they were afraid she was going to say something that would hurt the movie even more.
As the Rachel Zegler situation continues to unfold, seasoned Hollywood observers and industry historians are beginning to draw parallels to darker chapters in the entertainment industry's past. Whispers of blacklisting, though perhaps hyperbolic in the current context, evoke chilling memories of eras when careers could be abruptly and irrevocably destroyed by perceived transgressions, shifting political winds, or even unsubstantiated accusations. While the specifics of Zegler's situation are vastly different from the McCarthy-era blacklists or the studio system's iron grip on talent, the underlying anxieties about career vulnerability and the capricious nature of Hollywood favor are resurfacing. Some point to historical examples of stars whose careers were derailed by public scandals, perceived unmanageability, or clashes with powerful studios, serving as cautionary tales about the precariousness of fame and fortune in the entertainment world. These historical echoes serve to amplify the stakes of the current drama, suggesting that the consequences for Rachel Zegler could be far-reaching and potentially long-lasting. They also underscore the immense power that studios still wield in shaping careers and controlling narratives, and the enduring fear that even in the supposedly more transparent and egalitarian modern Hollywood, a single misstep, a perceived slight, or a whisper campaign can have devastating and irreversible repercussions on a rising star's trajectory. The past, in its shadowy corners of Hollywood lore, serves as a stark reminder that the dazzling lights of fame can be extinguished with surprising speed, and that the path to lasting success is often fraught with unseen dangers and unpredictable turns.
Everything has to be that. This is a, and also what is beautiful about the original Snow White too is the hand-drawn animation, right? Is the beauty of the
many hours of
cartoon.
work.
Yeah, and it's really there's an authenticity to it.
And so, the central enigma remains tantalizingly unresolved. Did Ariana DeBose genuinely shut down Rachel Zegler, and if so, in what context and with what consequences? Did Disney overreact, making a drastic decision based on unverified rumors and industry whispers? Or is there a more nuanced, intricate, and perhaps even more scandalous narrative buried beneath the surface of public perception? As it stands, we are left with a labyrinth of unanswered questions and swirling speculations. Disney's unwavering silence, the persistent murmurs surrounding Zegler's conduct, and the unexpected shadow of DeBose all contribute to a portrait of Hollywood drama that is far from reaching its final act. One thing is unequivocally clear: this unfolding story is far from over, and as the mystery deepens, the world remains captivated, waiting to see what further shocking revelations, if any, will ultimately emerge from behind the glittering facade of Hollywood. Now it's your turn. What's your theory? Dive into the comments below and share what you believe really transpired in this unfolding Hollywood mystery.